voila, all done. Let's see how many things I found. I found 3 tall objects. I found 4 narrow objects. I found 5, 6, 7 objects that are light, and I found 2 objects that are long. Now, I'm going to take this information and turn it into something called a bar graph. Everyone say bar graph. A bar graph is another kind of graph that tells us information about something. So let's make the bar graph on the back of your recording sheet, like this. Oh, actually, we'll move it like this. Okay, cool. So the first thing we're going to do is write the title. Just like in a tally graph, your graph needs a title. The title of this bar graph will be called attributes. So right at the top of your paper, write down attributes. Okay? So I have my word attributes. Maybe I'll draw a line under it too, so I know it's a title. Don't forget to include the word title. And then I'm gonna actually create my graph right now. So the next thing you'll do is draw a line on the side here that goes up and down. Just like that. Simple line. And this line tells us the amount of objects for each adjective. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw another line side to side down here. And this line will tell us each of the adjectives. Okay, so again, this side tells us the number or the amount of objects, and this line will tell us the adjective. I'm gonna write that down. And families, please help with this. This is like first grade, even second grade level work. So again, here I'm gonna write the amount of objects. And then down here is the attributes. Okay, cool. So this is the beginning of our graph. Now, it's called a bar graph because we draw bars to represent the information. So I'm gonna go to the back, and I'm gonna look at the first adjective, which is tall, and draw a bar for this adjective. And I know I found 3 objects that are tall. So before I draw my bar, I need to look at which which adjective had the most objects. Light had the most objects. So here, in my amount of objects, I'm gonna draw 7 little marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I'm gonna label each of these marks that I just made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So now I can draw my bar for tall. So I know 3 objects were tall. So I'm going to draw a bar. But first, I know there were 3. So I'm going to look at the number 3. Draw a little line that goes across. And I'm going to draw my bar now. So my bar is like a rectangle. Now I'm going to keep drawing my bar until I get to the number 3. And this is my bar for tall. And I'm going to write the word tall underneath. Tall. So if I read this graph right now, I know for the adjective tall, I found 1, 2, 3 objects. So when you read the bar, you read at the top of the bar and find the number that it lines up with, which is 3. And when you're done drawing the bar, then you can color it. And you're gonna do that for each of the adjectives. So go ahead, friends, go ahead. I'll give you some time to do all of the adjectives and turn them into bars. And there is my finished bar graph. Now, sorry, families and friends, I made a little mistake. This line right here is not for attributes, it's actually for adjectives. So you can just make the change and write down the word adjective because each of these columns represents a different adjective. Okay, sorry about that. But Now, since I'm done, I have some questions for you that you can answer with your families, and tell me the answers in the comments of this Facebook post. So my first question is, which adjective has the most objects? So looking at my bar graph, which adjective has the most objects? Tall has 3, narrow has 4, light has 7, and long has only 2. So for my graph, light had the most objects at 7. My second question is, which adjective had the least objects? So look at your graph and find out which adjective had the least objects. On mine, it's long. Long only had 2 objects, and 2 is the smallest number. So I know that adjective had the least objects. And the third question is a number sentence that you have to write for me. So listen very, very carefully, because this one is pretty tricky. What do you have left when you take the smallest number of objects from the biggest number of objects? First I have to figure out, well, now I know the object with the smallest number is long, and the adjective with the most objects is light. So I have to take away 2 from 7. So if I put that as a number sentence, 7, and I'm trying to find out how many I have left. So I know I have to use the minus sign. So 7 minus 2 equals blank. That's my number sentence, and I'm gonna answer that. Make sure you figure out your number sentence. And again, the question is, what do you have left when you take the smallest number of objects from the biggest number of objects? Make sure to share all of your work in the comments of this Facebook post. And good luck again, friends. Thank you for watching today's daily math activity. Don't forget to share your photos and your videos of this activity in the comments of this Facebook post. And for tomorrow's costume, make sure you wear something 80s, because tomorrow is totally rad 80s. So ask your families, you can look up costumes on Google, and make sure I see you in your costumes today and tomorrow. Okay? And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily math activity. Peace out.